It's Monday, May 12th. In the headlines, work on the way to establish a World Bank-funded Jamaica information portal. In business news, Kingston Wharves surpassed its record for single-day gate transactions. Regionally, Commissioner of Police Dr. Richard Rosado is pushing for a 6-month state of emergency in Belize City. And in sports, Jamaica's men's 4x400 meters and women's 4x100 meters teams qualify for the World Athletics Championships. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Work is underway for the establishment of a World Bank-funded Jamaica Legal Information Portal, JLIP. Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, Marlene Malahoo Fort, reminded the House of Representatives at its last meeting that the platform is intended to improve public access to Jamaica's laws, educate the public about all aspects of legal information, and provide a facility for them to express views on and query the status of any law. The Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs has announced significant progress in the development of the Jamaica Legal Information Portal, a digital platform aimed at enhancing access to Jamaica's legal resources.
It has been released for beta testing, which is basically an internal launch, marking the completion of one phase of the project, allowing us to move to the next phase where content is being populated.
The portal will offer the advanced search capabilities and wider access to laws in multiple formats, with a special emphasis on providing access to publications from the Jamaica Gazette and offering notifications on key legislative and judicial updates.
If you know the name of the law you're looking for, just type it into the search bar and click search. So let's say we want to find the Access to Information Act. We type it in, you click search, and it appears on the screen.
Minister Malahoo Fort emphasized the portal's advanced search functionality.
There is also an advanced search feature that allows you to search by legal topics.
The minister also provided an update on the ongoing work of the Law Revision Secretariat.
This secretariat is aimed at enhancing the availability of legal information by publishing annual volumes of the revised pages of the laws of Jamaica and facilitating the online publication of the laws. The Secretariat completed major initiatives in the reporting year to include revision of newly enacted and amended statutes for the year 2023. We are working with a backlog. Revision of newly enacted and amended subsidiary legislation for the year 2024.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has expressed concern over the weaknesses within Jamaica's criminal justice system following the tragic murder of 9-year-old Kelsey Ferrigan. During a visit to the Job Lane community in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, Dr. Holness expressed the need for potential reforms, including a review of the sex offender registry. The Prime Minister's comments came shortly after he spoke with Kelsey's mother, Georgia Anderson. Dr. Holness condemned the brutal murder and praised the community's efforts in aiding the police investigation. According to police reports, Kelsey's body was found around 8 p.m. on Friday, partially undressed and upside down in a barrel at her home. Authorities suspect she may have been sexually assaulted before being murdered. Not all voices are heard, but every story deserves to be told. At the Danny Williams School for the Deaf, students are proving that communication goes far beyond sound. Through sign language, creativity, and technology, they're learning, expressing, and preparing to take on the world, one sign, one lesson, one dream at a time. Here's more in this two-part JIS feature.
Hi, I'm Ari Jones. I go to Danny Williams School for the Deaf.
Not all voices are heard, but every story can be told. At the Danny Williams School for the Deaf, students use their hands, their hearts, and their minds to communicate, learn, and dream.
The mission of the Danny Williams School for the Deaf is to create an environment for our deaf students that will prepare them for society. You know, we want to prepare well-rounded individuals, and we also offer, basic, fundamental, and essential skills so that they will be able to develop their fullest potential.
Here, education is more than just words. It is movement, connection, and self-expression in a language the world is learning to understand.
So adapting comes very different ways because they're mostly visual learners. So we use charts. I use a lot of games because we are so involved in technology now, so we have to use the different apps that are out there as well to teach the students, to get them interested in the lesson too. It's mostly hands-on based, even though they're getting the content, which is learning it word for word.
Every educator here is committed to creating a supportive and enriching environment where students are encouraged to thrive in both academics and life.
Seeing the children growth, seeing them using the language or using what you have taught them in different areas of their life, even when they have left here, and they see on the road and they said, "Miss," and they start talking about what they learned, that you have made, you have touched them in some way.
All right, that's a long thing. I want to do a lot of writing. I think I want to write books. I want to do some editing and do some more writing and maybe to produce books.
One of them is self-confidence, even though we have to build that within them, telling them that even though they have this disability of deafness, they can accomplish whatever they want.
I talk, I just love to talk. And I also like to share my snacks and the phone. I like to play on my tablets.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Several listed companies shared their financial results for the previous quarter. Massey Holdings Limited unaudited financials for the 6 months ended March 31, 2025 reported a 24% increase in 6-month net profit attributable to shareholders. Then QWI Investments Limited unaudited financials for the 6 months ending March 31, 2025 reports a 6-month net loss of $137.64 million. We then turn to Sagicor Real Estate X Fund Limited. Their unaudited financials for the first quarter ending March 31, 2025 reports a 212% increase in 3 months net profit. We then turn the spotlight to NCB Financial Group Limited, unaudited financials for the 6 months ending March 31, 2025, which reports a 94% jump in 6 months net profit attributable to shareholders. Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited lauded its partnership with Jamaica Customs Agency and Port Authority of Jamaica for the feat on last Thursday, where it surpassed its record for single-day gate transactions, processing over 930 container arrivals and deliveries. This achievement was a result of teamwork that allowed Kingston Freeport the ability to respond to the needs of the domestic market and enhance service delivery. Last week, Amber Connect entered into a strategic alliance with Dollar Financial Services Limited to integrate vehicle tracking and telematics technology as a benefit to the auto loan product. The Dollar Financial Services loan product for taxi operators is offering up to 95% financing for new vehicle purchases, or access up to 70% of their existing vehicle value, and flexible repayment options of up to 36 months. The loan comes with Amber Connect's free GPS tracking system. Additionally, borrowers will have access to Amber On Time, a Jamaican-developed world-class taxi app that offers PPV drivers direct access to passenger bookings, further streamlining their operations and profitability. For the trading period ending May 9, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. International food distributor Deramon Trading Company Limited, with 6,774,835 units traded, representing 21.42% of market sales volume. Logistics and shipping conglomerate Kingston Wharves Limited, with 6,702,980 units traded, representing 21.19% of market sales volume. Billboard advertising and real estate developer Kintyre Holdings Jamaica Limited, with 4,957,766 units traded, representing 15.67% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On May 9, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $57.21 million purchased and US $55.21 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.80 per dollar, selling the US at $160.19 and buying the US at $158.39. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $3.79 per transactions, with selling at $115.40 and buying at $111.61. The British pound yielded Forex traders 80 cents in profits, with selling at $212.30 and buying at $211.50. For our credit report tip of the day, when you present your business ideas to investors, bankers, or strategic partners, your pitch is more than your words. It's your financial credibility. Whether or not you mention it, your credit score is part of the conversation. and it can work in your favor in more ways than you realize. Here are some suggestions from expert financial advisors. You can use your credit score to reflect how you handle responsibility, something every investor or banker wants to see. Another idea is to use your credit score to build trust with lenders. Most banks use your personal credit score to decide if you're eligible for startup funding. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step forward to your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, a bold move by Belize's top cop is stirring up controversy. Commissioner of Police Dr. Richard Rosado is pushing for the current state of emergency in Belize City to be extended for 6 months, a proposal that's raising eyebrows and concerns. Critics argue that detaining individuals for such a long period without charge could violate basic human rights. But Rosado isn't backing down. He says the priority is clear: restoring peace to the streets. The proposal has sparked a heated debate between public safety and civil liberties, with many now watching closely to see how the government responds.
While I am lobbying for it to be for 6 months, it will allow us, and the main reason for that was based on the threat assessment. And the assessment went from high to critical, and there was a need for us to do something drastically. Hence the reason I was lobbying. I was trying to see if we can put a 6 months in the first instance. But in any case, our strategies have always been on threefold: the prevention, the intervention, and the enforcement strategies. So we are doing all that we can to ensure that we return normalcy to the streets in Belize City.
Sir, why was Ruin Creek chosen? Because no shootings or murders happened in Ruin Creek.
No, like I mentioned, whenever we do or recommend the SOE, it's based on a threat assessment. And the threat assessment in those areas that are affected was at a critical level. Hence the reason they were included.
So do you believe it won't go as long as 6 months, maybe 3 months will suffice?
Like I said, our strategies on the ground is based on the context on the ground. We have a wide continuum of policing strategies available to us. Where on the continuum we place the police department depends on what's on the ground.
Have you faced any backlash from human rights attorneys for what they would claim to be, violating people's constitutional rights?
For the most part, the public has been supportive of the state of emergency, and they have applauded the police for the effort that we are doing on the grounds.
Advocates in Trinidad and Tobago are sounding the alarm on what they call a silent crisis, one where boys are emotionally neglected, socially misunderstood, and systematically unsupported. This as the local arm of the World Day of the Boy Child Global Movement held a panel discussion on Friday to discuss the issues plaguing boys and men.
As a young gentleman over there said, it's not easy being a man in Trinidad and Tobago today.
From Port of Spain to Point Fortin, the message was clear. Boys in Trinidad and Tobago are in crisis. And last Friday, experts and advocates gathered to say enough is enough, including that of pediatrician and columnist Dr. David Bratt.
So in general, the figures show that out of every 5 people in the country who commit suicide, 4 are now men. This changed from 20 or 30 years ago. So it's against this background then that you have this boy child entering our world, biologically inferior and psychologically at increasing risk.
Caribbean Ambassador of the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Men and Boys, Richie Bansraj, highlighted the lack of mental health support for boys.
Stigma, the pressure to be a tough, a big man. Low mental health literacy as well. Emotional intelligence is a thing that we hear tossing around a lot. And the masculine norms that make boys feel less likely to seek support.
Retired fire officer Clunas Wallen said cultural norms that teach boys to suppress emotion are doing more harm than good stressing the importance of nurturing boys, which would lead to less problems as men.
So boys get to believe that we had to be tough all the time. And that toughness that was bred into many boys made them aggressive in some ways and then less able to express their true feelings.
And Pastor Marlon Bascombe, also a member of the Caribbean Male Action Network Carryman, said boys over 10 are often treated as threats rather than children in need of care.
It suddenly becomes that much harder at age 11 to find somewhere safe for the boy who does not have the best family life, for the boy who may have been the victim of abuse, for the boy who, because of his victimhood, may already be or may be on the way to becoming a perpetrator.
The International Day of the Boy Child will be observed on Friday, May 16th, and all speakers agreed that Trinidad and Tobago must start by healing the boy child. Sonolala, TTT News.
The European Union continues to stand as a key partner for the Caribbean. That message from EU Ambassador Malgorzata Willis-Waka as she hosted her final Europe Day reception in Barbados before stepping down later this year. Speaking at the event held at her official residence in St. Michael, the ambassador highlighted the importance of building strong bridges between Europe and the region. Europe Day, observed annually on May 9th, celebrates peace and unity across the EU. Barbados's Foreign Affairs Ministry also acknowledged the long-standing collaboration with the EU, especially in the face of growing global challenges.
We are your long-standing partner. Next year, Barbados Barbados and EU, we will celebrate 50 years of our cooperation. This year, Trinidad celebrated this. I'd like to believe that you feel we are a reliable, long-lasting partner. We are a region of choice many times when you look for technology and innovation, and that is why we try to share the best of what we have with you with these visits and with other ideas.
As we continue to witness the devastating consequences of various conflicts, who thought we would be back here? And these are occurring around the world as we speak. We see what's happening between India and Pakistan. Barbados, like many small states, has consistently called for the upholding of international law, sovereignty, and territorial integrity, and the importance of diplomacy and collective action to support the maintenance of peace.
In sports, we're out the blocks with athletics. Jamaica's men's 4x400 meters relay team secured a spot at the upcoming World Athletics Championships, joining the women's 4x100 meters relay team as the only Jamaican squads to qualify, following a series of mixed results at the World Athletics Relays in China, held from May 10 to May 11. On the final day of competition, the Jamaican men's 4x400 meters team delivered a determined performance, finishing third in their second round heat to clinch a spot at the World Championships in Tokyo, Japan, set for September. This marks a comeback after the team's failure to qualify for last year's Olympic Games. In the mixed 4x100 meters relay, Jamaica placed second in their final event, though this race was not part of World Championships qualification process. Meanwhile, Jamaica's women's 4x100 meters relay team, who had already secured their World Championships berth in Saturday's first round, earned a bronze medal in Sunday's final. However, the Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association now faces the challenge of getting the remaining three relay teams, the men's 4x100 meters, women's 4x400 meters, and mixed 4x400 meters qualified for the World Championships after all three fell short in their attempts. In cricket news, the Leeward Islands Thunder had the psychological advantage going into the final of the West Indies Breakout League versus Trinidad and Tobago Legions due to their victory over the home team in the group stage. But head coach Rayad Emrit and his men made the necessary adjustments, and the end result was a celebration at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy.
The Leeward Islands Thunder won the toss and elected to field first at Tarouba for the final of the West Indies Breakout League versus the Trinidad and Tobago Legions. The Legions' opening pair of Amir Jangu and Kamil Puran grabbed the opportunity and put on 52 for the first wicket before Jangu departed in the 6th over for 23. 3 wickets fell within 10 balls during the middle overs to put TNT in a spot of bother at 4 for 83 in the 11th. But Puran stuck around until the 15th over to top score with 73 from 44 balls with 7 fours and 4 sixes. Captain Joshua Da Silva contributed 14 not out and Joshua James 26 not out to get the score up to a respectable 181 for 5 in their 20 overs. Karima Gore had the best bowling figures for the Leewards, taking 2 wickets for 22 runs. In the chase, the Leeward Islands Thunder also got off to a fine start by putting on 57 for the first wicket before McKenny Clark had Jamie Cornelius caught for 11. Navin Badesi then pulled things back in TNT's favour with quick wickets of Jewel Andrews and Mikhail Louis. James was dismissed in the 12th over, top scoring for his team with 63. At that point, the score was 102 for 5. The TNT bowlers stuck to the mission with only 23 and 24 balls from Elroy Francis, causing a slight delay in the quest. In the end, Leeward Islands Thunder could only muster 164 for 9 in their 20 overs. McKenny Clark did the damage with the ball, taking 3 wickets for 34 runs, while Navin Badesi had 2 for 27. As TNT Legions won the West Indies Breakout League final by 17 runs. Wayne Cunningham, TTT Sport.
TTT Sport anchor Nazira Mohammed caught up with TNT Legions captain Joshua Da Silva following his team's Breakout League triumph.
Josh, congratulations. Led your men to a title tonight. Tell us what it means to you to win this title.
It's an amazing feeling to win any trophy, any title. To do it at home in front of the home crowd. Exceptional. I can't thank the boys enough for the support, the coaching staff for the support, and it was a total team effort. There was a lot of times where we didn't play our best cricket, but we came out this game and we played very well. We batted really well. We started okay with the ball, but we fought back and it showed the depth that we have.
And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.